instead of drawing it. I think that'd be really cool. You want? We'll start it. That's okay. I'm just thinking. Sometimes. Anyways, we just take a little. I like to be able to take a little break.
I'm in favor of starting early and late, than starting late and not getting
Maybe we'll try to split it up. Like, we'll each have our thing or little paper. So you do channels 1 through 5. And I'll set up, and just and then see what we got. Could go super fast. Who knows? Yeah. But especially with like drums and stuff, you need. My plan with the drums was the bass drum, snare drum, and one overhead. Sometimes you don't need it. Just sometimes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but outside, if they get lost. Sometimes I won't use the overhead because it'll get picked up in the vocal mic. But I remember not making up drums because you're so far away from all that stuff. It's nice to put it in the speaker. And we're going to use this sub. We only have one sub. Are you on organ? Are you good at like playing with people if you don't have music? Oh no.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
That's a whole different. People can do that.
I remember years ago I played drums for a show with Julie and there was like 10 people in the band and I never played with them. I was so nervous. And it's like, oh, I realized that no one knows what to do. But it's fine. I just remember playing so quiet and being in here, thinking like, you know?
What?
We didn't try these mics, but I see that they're picking up stuff. So. Very interesting. I'm worried about those bands that watch the stage. People usually have to go with them if people want to go up and look at it. It's I probably could have just lost those people. But I couldn't get in here to do it. I was working too. No, but we will on Saturday. There'll be somebody here.
I just assumed we were going to do it. Everybody brings their Oh, okay.
You press the button.
Right here until you excuse that.
I pretty sure it
No, that's.
You have an organ system. Yeah, you move with it. I've always wanted a piano in my house. I never had a house where I could have one. Now we built an addition, and last year, while it was being built, someone was getting rid of my school. And I really wanted to take it, but I didn't because I didn't have to put it on the time. And then now that room is done. It's really nice. It's like Sunday where like I just want to put it down. But I'm really looking forward to it. And it popped up on Silent Running Sale again. It was like Craigslist. And I was like, it's that. And it was on a trailer in the picture. They're like, we need to bring this down. And I'm like, and someone else got it. Someone who passed like 4 1. My friend Pete couldn't see. She like leaves them outside. Like, yeah, I really wanted that. It's on the trailer. We want to bring it to you. Like, no. It's like you can pick one up free on Craigslist and yeah, I really don't even know how to do this. Like I know some people have techniques. Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
David Love.
But yeah, you need some time. Huh. Yeah, when I was a teen, I saw a tree organ on the side of the road and I thought it was with my parents there. I feel like going down. You'd always go, do you want that organ? When I moved out, I always wanted to know that it's there. No, there's nothing to do.
Practicing both hands. I know.
Which keyboard is it? I could see.
Yeah, so visiting theater.
You're using for that.
Yeah.
Wonder how we would get it from like.
Yeah. Right. We were laughing about something came. It just seems that I laughed. So I told him I was glad he said something funny. You gotta be more funny.
Like, so something from here to there.
He's got a good laugh.
You know, sometimes that sounds pretty weird. But it sounds different. I wish, yeah, it'd be fun if like they ended just did. And I had like the laptop and the recording. It was take the 2 minutes now and stretch it a little bit. I feel like people are going to swim the stage. Do you ever even know speakers in the subs or something? All the way in the corner? Just because that one long cable won't touch the stage. It's the only cable that we have. So it doesn't move. But I'd like to put that under the stage. That's the reason.
I'm good. How are you? You're like, he says the sound is best up here. Did we do you say that? It comes up and around because it's such a high back down there that it comes up and goes around. You know what I heard?
Really I sent them a link to a couple of these speakers. Why is it so bright when you do YouTube? Didn't you notice that?
Exactly. Baby, stay with mom. For the baby. No, I don't No, I said the next one. The master. The master. The master. Good. I'm so high. I didn't see you. It's so quiet at my house. Are you lonely? Well, if you get lonely, I'll just stop by. Stop by. Cheer me up. Yeah, it was. I was emotional. It says something else is on the other side. It was very nice.
Granddog Oscar. And the first night he was here, he is on the cliffs. To that
Next morning, we're narrowing it down.
next morning, they're gone.
At least we know when it is well. Maybe that's what she needs to spend her.
Probably. He's over there.
I need to go. I'm supposed to go. I need to my eyes. Yeah, but I hate to ask very often. She's an artist. But when I went to that, and she said, well, it looks nice though. I like that. And that's me. My bags are always in the and then I start acting. I know. It'll grow. So yeah, I have to call John. Starting. Yeah.
Welcome to the TPAC. Here. I think this is a really fantastic night, and Peter will be coming up just a little bit. He's the fellow that built this, my brother-in-law. I'm very proud of him. I'm just going to say a couple of things. First off, as typical, make sure your telephone is turned off, if you'd be so kind. Oh, I see people watching that. So you're going to be fined $5. That's that part. Let's see, Jodie Desalvo, who's playing tonight, has CDs, as perhaps you saw, available out here. They're $20 a piece. There's only 5 there. They're collector items, apparently. So there's the rest of them are equal otherwise, but I'm sure they are fantastic. Let's see here. We're going to play, or they are going to play the show straight through, no intermission. So we probably should have announced that, so you would be really ready for that, but we didn't. So if something happens, there's doors on both sides. Just want to quickly, I'm Julian Hagan, and I want to point out Kevin Jones is our sound man. He's a fantastic. Mr. Tom Pratt is our lighting guru here. So, Kate Hopkins is the assistant, so she's the one that's really been putting the gardens together out front. So I just want to also just say a couple more quick things here. My brother-in-law, Peter Nielsen, built this piano, but he's also sponsoring the show tonight. So we are always grateful to anybody that will either sponsor or partly sponsor, and also have suggestions for shows. We're open to that also, but the small little theater needs helping hands financially, and we are so grateful for the people that do give. So if something comes to mind, or you win the lottery or whatever, please keep us in mind if possible. Just a couple things here. This coming Saturday at 6 o'clock outside is an evening of John Prine songs, and there's going to be some of you probably know Parrish Schutz. He's from Chicago tonight, the TV show in Chicago, and he's played up here often. He's going to be here playing. Another friend that's played, Alex Konetsky, great voice, and then a couple other musicians. Gail Johnson is going to sing a couple tunes that night. Stevie Rice is going to sing. Kate's going to sing a song. I'm probably going to do one, but it's going to be a really fun night, so I hope you'll come out for that. That one will be free will donations. Also, coming up, we're going to do a film festival on the 21st and 22nd with the Beloit International Film Festival. And we'll be doing that inside, but you'll be able to read about that in the articles and online about what the films will be about. And then the directors will be here also to answer questions. Like John Siskel of Siskel and Ebert, it's Siskel's nephew is going to be here. And he has a new documentary out called The Road Up. It's about 4 participants in CARA, a Chicago job training program. And it's really, it's been getting wonderful reviews. And then we're working with a couple others at Yor, Wisconsin, and with Pat McDonald from Sturgeon Bay, we're trying to get him to come up. He was in Timbuktu, that was up for a Grammy against Bruce Hornsby. We're working on these things, so it's all gonna come together. And on that Saturday, we're gonna have kind of a reggae mixed with some jazz out front again. So it will be people playing. We also have the, long-winded, I know. We have the TPAC CD that's available here also, and that is $15. And some wonderful people sponsored the recording and printing of that. Kevin did the recording also, and that all the money made from the sale of that goes to the True Blood Performing Arts Center. So keep that in mind too. And there's all kinds of other things coming up, but I'm gonna pass it on to my brother-in-law Peter. He's gonna give a little bit of history about this piano, and we'll start. Okay, thanks. Here's Peter Nielsen.
It was in October of 2019 that we debuted this piano in this very room. Boy, pre-COVID, times have changed. Wow. But anyway, those of you who are here for that debut, I will ask your indulgence as I say some of the same things that I said that night. I want to do a little quick overview of what went into the building of this thing. The thing weighs 1,800 pounds. It's 9 feet long. Each there are 2 grand pianos built into this one case. That's the concept, so that both sets of strings are strung over one soundboard. It was the French that came up with this idea back in the late 1800s. There was kind of a sudden blossoming of piano music. 2 pianos, just 2 pianos, 2 pianos with a chamber group behind them, 2 pianos with a full orchestra behind them. And all over Europe, cities all over Europe, if the well-to-do and wealthy, where before they would for sure have 1 piano in their salon, most started having 2 pianos in their salon, and the evening get-togethers more often involved than two pianists playing off each other. The October concert, we had the opportunity to listen to two jazz pianists with considerably different style, but it was fun, very fun, to say the least, to hear them playing off each other. The menu, if you will, tonight is going to be more choreographed, more complex stuff. I've been sitting, listening to rehearsals, so like I said last time, I know what's coming, and you people don't have a clue, but this is going to be amazing. Just amazing. I took 4 years to build this thing. The inspiration came, as I say, the French piano company Pleyel came up with the concept of building two pianos into one case because there was this blossoming of two piano music. Beginning, I believe, in 1890, they produced something like this. This is engineered completely along the lines of American piano building, which is pretty dramatically different than continental. So it is safe to say there are very, very few of those Pleyels left in existence. Most of them got bombed out of existence in World War II. The few that are left, I only know of two that are still functional. Doesn't mean that there are not more, but I only know of two of them that are still functional instruments, and they are just not capable of the power and the clarity that this thing is, because again, I built into this all of the strength that is typical of American piano building for the last century. There are 228 strings on each side, and you do the scale out, you do the engineering with the assumption that you want to have approximately 200 pounds of tension on each string. So if you do the math, 200 pounds times 228 on each end, you come up with something about 50,000 pounds that is trying to pull the piano together. So a whole bunch of strength has to be built into it. If it's not absolutely solid, obviously it's not going to hold a stable tune. And that's a lot of tension to have to deal with. I'm not sure that I have a desire to go in any one particular direction. Kevin, could we have the lights up? And are there any questions quickly from here about what I built in here, or about the instrument itself? I could go on and on my own path, but if there's something of interest, I'd like to address that. Yes?
Have you been moving it off the island a lot here?
I had 4 or 5 events with it. The largest event it has been to so far was a concert down at the Resch Center in Green Bay at the university. That was in late January. I had one more concert on it in early February, and then COVID hit. I think I had 12 events scheduled for last summer, 2020. That all fell through, obviously, because of COVID. So all of that momentum has gone away. I'm not sure what the future holds here, but we'll get it out and about again. This is the only thing that I have for sure scheduled for this summer, though. Yes?
What types of wood did you use, and did the wood come from the island?
Good question. The bulk of the case is made out of maple plywood that was made in Marion, Wisconsin. Marion Plywood Company. So the main structure of the case is made of maple in Wisconsin proper. All of the ancillary stuff that I built onto and around the case, I used island wood. So there is a bunch of island maple, a bunch of island oak, a bunch of island beech, a bunch of island ironwood in here where you want something really tough. Ironwood is the go-to, boy. There are some softwoods too, some island pine, perhaps a stick or two of cedar. But everything that all the wood that was not made by Marion Plywood all came from the island. Yes, and I have my dad's old sawmill. So all of that material that went into the piano was stuff that I ran over the mill and then cured and processed myself. I saw a hand over here. Yes.
I wondered if the original design for this piano took into consideration the primo or duo of the composers had to decide which side of the piano sounds right for the one part over the other. Did they actually compose for this instrument?
I have never read anything at all to the effect that the French, went out of their way in designing their piece to accommodate that. When in all other circumstances for two piano work, and I've tuned for a lot of two piano work, we just take two grands and put them together side by side. And in that circumstance, if this were two grands, this would be the grand that hinges the top. The other grand typically would just take the top off. So by far, the tradition now is that if you have two piano work, this is the primo end, because this piano has the projection. I didn't do anything different on one end or the other, and yet they are markedly different. It really is interesting. Fair to say, actually, that without even trying, this end, the sound is more complex. That end, the sound is cleaner, more mathematical, more precise. But this, again, by happenstance, I didn't do anything to do anything different. But by happenstance, this is probably the better end for the primo to be played at. Yes?
Where did you build it?
Where?
In your own here?
Here, I have a shop. I have a shop down on the west side, yeah.
And
So
how do you transport? Is it just a traditional piano movement, or do you?
I move pianos quite a bit with a good friend of mine. The two of us can, with relative ease, move a 9-foot concert grand, which weighs about 1,000 pounds. We ended up making a very special dolly for this thing that actually tips it on its back almost without effort for us. And then all we have to do is roll it. So the two of us can relatively easily move this. We can't go upstairs with her and stuff like that. As long as there's a loading dock or a ramp tube, we can get there. Final question.
You made this one-off, or
This is a one-off. Yeah. If I had had a pile of plywood before COVID hit, probably I would have spent last winter, start another one. But it just wasn't in the, to start collecting up stuff, or it just wasn't in the cards last winter. So this is a one-off. I I mean, I had absolutely no right to expect, let alone hope, that this thing could turn out as well as it did on the first attempt. And you're about to hear this. This is really a remarkable instrument, and there's a whole bunch of good luck and good grace that went into that, that's for sure. I think we should close this part of it after the concert. I will be up here. You're welcome to come up here and look closely and stand around, and we can chat and do more questions at that time. But let's you didn't pay good money to come here and me talk. Let's get to the music. Julian.
Last time we did this show, we had a slideshow and different things. So I said the next time we do this, hopefully, whenever that may be, we'll put more details of as he built it and the pictures of it. Anyway, enough. As phenomenal as the instrument is, the musicians themselves are phenomenal. Jodie Desalvo is an amazing piano player, and Jonathan Bass, of course, is one of our own, which we are so proud of. He doesn't have to be a musician to be proud of, trust me, he's such a fine person, but he is a great musician. So I want to introduce Jodie Desalvo and Jonathan Bass right now.
Everybody, we're so glad that you chose to spend the evening with us here at the TPAC on the double keyboard. We're really excited to be here, and glad you're here to join us. And we were here 2 years ago. We premiered the concert. Some of you maybe have been there then, 2 years ago. That's great. We're going to do a varied program tonight of classical music. And we're going to explain the pieces as we go, so you know what to listen for, what to look for. And we'll be switching keyboards too during the night. Sometimes Jonathan will be on piano one's. Now that I know the piano one's better side, I think I'll be making my way over there more often. At the moment, I guess. Anyway, we're going to turn it over to Jonathan. He's going to tell you a little bit about the first piece by Brahms that we'll be playing for you.
Yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. I know Jodie and myself and Peter are also grateful that we get to do this in person, and that we get to collaborate after our 2-year hiatus. So the first piece we're playing is Variations on a Theme of Haydn by Brahms. So Haydn had written a pretty simple chorale, which is called the Chorale of St. Anthony, and Brahms took this and he came up with kind of 8 different versions of it, so 8 variations, plus a big finale, which is a set of variations in itself, so it's kind of like variations, Inception or something. And the fun thing about variations is that they're all different from each other and the same at the same time. So in terms of character and tempo and harmony and dynamic, they differ greatly, but they're all fundamentally derived from the same chorale. So there's a through line that ties them all together, although they may appear very different at first.
Whoever's clapping real loud over here, the check's in the mail. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. That's one of our favorites. We love performing that. It's just a great piece, and it takes a lot of concentration. So it was really, really great. The next piece is a little lighter piece, written by Bizet. This is from Carmen. And for those of you that have not seen opera, Carmen is probably the one that you should go see first. Because it's got a lot of familiar tunes in it. And this is a very familiar tune. This is the Habanera. And the Habanera is the time of the opera when Carmen is flirting with several men. Although there's not a time in the opera that she's not doing that, but this is one of the signature pieces for that. So this is the Habanera by Bizet from Carmen. this was you. I said, yeah, I thought so too. We're going to do now for you the suite by Mio, the Scaramouche suite. And you're probably going, what's Scaramouche and who's Mio? Right? So let me tell you about this. This is a really fun piece to play and a really fun piece to listen to. And Scaramouche in French literature was a clown or a jokester. And each movement of this particular piece, called Scaramouche, is just really fun and jovial and playful, and sometimes the dissonance in it, which is very, very seldom, is just a playful, like kids going, you know, one of those kind of deals. It's a real fun and games piece. The second movement is really beautiful and very lyrical, and the third movement is like a party in Brazil. It's called Brasileira, and so it's got a little bit of the French twinge that you hear in the first movement, but it also has a lot of Spanish and syncopated rhythms. So I hope you enjoy this. We love playing it. This is the Scaramouche Suite by Mio. So we're gonna do a little solo playing now, do you mind? Good, because we're doing it anyway. So I'm gonna try a couple things here tonight. Can you tell the difference between the sides of the piano?
Yes.
Oh, can you really?
Yes.
I can. But we're gonna see how they sound separately. So I'm gonna play the first piece over here, on the good side. Just kidding, Peter. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm going to do an etude by Chopin, and the etudes, for any etude is a study, and it's a study in some kind of technical difficulty, whether it's octaves or fast notes in the right hand, fast notes in the left hand, thirds, sixths, tenths. It's always some kind of study to build your technical abilities. And in this particular piece, it deals with tone production. It's a gorgeous melody, and it's got some intricate things in the middle section, some passages in the middle section that have some challenges technically with fourths and sixths. And if you're not sure what that means, here's a fourth and here's a sixth. This was taken, for those of you that know old movies, A Song to Remember, The Life of Chopin. This was running through that movie throughout. It's a gorgeous melody. I hope you enjoy it. This is Etude number 3, Opus 10 by Frédéric Chopin. Now, I haven't tried this on the other side, but I'm going to try this on the other side now and see if you can tell a difference and see if you can see which one you like better. I don't know, we'll find out. This is some George Gershwin. And George Gershwin lived from 1898 to 1937 and was most well known for Porgy and Bess and for his Rhapsody in Blue. We're not going to play that tonight. We did that 2 years ago. But we're going to play a short prelude. He wrote a set of 3 preludes for piano. Actually, there's 7 in the set, but there are 3 that are published and played most often. And this is the first one. It's fast and jazzy and lively and fun, so enjoy. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, no. Okay, which side do you like better? This one? Or the other side? Yeah, that's kind of even. All right, I'm going over to the other side.
So the piece I'm going to play is Used by WC, which means the island of joy, which could very well refer to Washington Island. But it's actually based on a painting by the French painter Watteau, and the painting is called L'Embarquement au Cité, which is French for the embarkation, or Cité, which is an island which is supposedly the birthplace of Venus, who is the god of love. And I was trying to think about how best to contextualize this piece. And I think I'd like everybody to take 5 or 10 seconds, close your eyes, and think of some experience or memory that's meaningful to you that makes you feel like your first album song is if you were. So I'll just give us 10 seconds or so. So the reason I ask for that is because that feeling of like sheer ecstasy is basically what WC captures in this piece. So I encourage you to try to keep that in mind when you listen as much as possible. Use writings. Next piece on the program is an improvisation on Ode to Joy by Marquez. Marquez is a composer who's kind of most known for his choral works, but he wrote this great piece that we enjoy a lot for two pianos. And improvisation is kind of just a way of saying it's something that he made up off the cuff, which is kind of impressive actually when I think about it. And Ode to Joy is, of course, the famous melody from the ending of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So improvisation on Ode to Joy. Right there.
Well, I'm sad to say this is our last piece of the program tonight. But hey, all good things must come to an end. We just want to say that we're very grateful and thankful to be here tonight after a year and a half, 2-year hiatus. It's so wonderful to perform live music and to perform with my former student over there, Jonathan Bass, who spent 6 summers with me at Birch Creek. And this is a joy and pleasure to speak to you. And by the way, I want to thank Diane, who's the woman that got it all started right here with Jonathan. It's just a real honor and pleasure to be here on Washington Island and to be able to perform with Jonathan. So I want to thank you again for coming tonight. And we're going to close tonight with an old favorite, so knock yourselves out, clap, and shoot the bar and scream. This is the Stars and Stripes Forever.
I know that. I thought maybe we went up with Julia.
Do some shit.